We just had a very important conversation about education and the future and racism and the complexities of helping to reach kids with social emotional learning at a distance. And one of the themes that came up was about growing anxiety and the emotional challenges that people are experiencing in isolation. Take a look.
I think that we've had a wake-up call, honestly, and that it's, there's been damage, there's a lot of negative emotion right now, but emotions are signals, right? They're information, and I think that we're seeing very clearly that now is the time. So I'm very hopeful in that people are going to be listening more than they ever had, especially to people who have been suffering. Just going back to the global issue of, with COVID-19, we've done a number of studies over the last couple of weeks. We did one with about 6,000 teachers. We found the number one emotion is anxiety right now, which is no surprise. 3 years ago when we did the same study, it was frustrated and stressed. It's now turned to anxiety. We did a study with 1,000 of New York City's public school leaders. Anxiety came up as number one, parents, anxiety number one. So, we are in a place of uncertainty, unpredictability, where it feels like this is going to last forever. And I think it's our moral obligation to support people in managing this anxiety, not trying to tell them to suppress it, deny it, repress it, blame it out on other people. But seriously, I think we need to provide our nation, with healing energy, especially around. Previously, it was anxiety up until last week. I think now if we did the study again, it would be anxiety, anger, and probably some despair.
Thank you, Dimitri. What is your sense of what's needed right now in the population that you work with and people you're interacting with?
I felt very strongly that we need to get children back to school. I felt that should be a priority. Up until a week ago, I felt it was critical because we're not able to meet their educational needs through distance learning, particularly for primary school children, particularly for low-income children, particularly for children with special needs. And we're not able to meet their social emotional needs through distance learning. It's even more critical now. I think children need the opportunity to connect with each other in real time and space in order to help heal the pain they're feeling now. And I think they need the close counsel and comfort of their teachers, who in many cases are critical role models and mentors. They need to be with them to help process a lot of what they're going through. So as concerned as I was before that children are in isolation and suffering the effects of it. So we know from data out of China that the incidence of anxiety and depression for children under home confinement increased by about 20%. We're just getting data from the US. I expect it to be similar. And that all predated the horrific events of this past week. So in a situation where I was already worried about children being isolated and suffering increased anxiety and depression, now we put on top of that all of the events of the past week. And I'm deeply, deeply concerned. And as important as it was for us to get children back to school a week ago, it's an imperative now.
This is such a challenging and important topic, and we have some more videos about anxiety, and I recommend you take a look at this.